Hello! Somebody asked me to make a little lesson for the song Margharíta, so here it is. I will play the song in the original key, so F sharp minor, and during the whole song I play the chords F sharp minor, B minor, D and E. And since there was asked for playing the melody with the right hand, I will play a left hand accompaniment pattern. So for F sharp minor, that goes like this. So I play the root, the fifth and the octave. And when playing, I try to hold as much as possible my pinky, so to make it sound fuller. I use the certos rhythm, so that means the grouping 3-3-2. So you can count 1 2 3 1 2 3 1 2 1 2 3 1 2 3 1 2. But of course it goes a little faster. Now let's see also the other chords. So this was F sharp minor. And then we have B minor, D, and E. Normally I don't make lessons for playing the melody with the right hand, because I always use both hands to play the accompaniment and I sing along with this. And making a lesson for playing the melody with the right hand is for me a lot of extra work, and for that I simply don't have the time. This time I wanted to make an exception, because I have never explained how you can figure out the melody by yourself, so just by ear. Of course, the best way for most people, I guess, is just to buy the sheet music if you want to play the melody with your right hand, because it is most of the time exactly written like this. But you don't have to. You don't really need sheet music, although it's always good to be able to read and write sheet music to communicate with other musicians. That's why I also learned it. But normally when I play by myself, I don't read really music. I read chord sheets. Most people feel a little difficult about learning to play an instrument by ear, and maybe that is because with traditional lessons you always read sheet music. But when you think about it, when you sing, you also most of the time don't read sheet music, and the human voice is in fact a musical instrument. So it is not really more difficult or impossible to learn how to play an instrument by ear. Now, of course, singing most people do already from young age in a playful way, and also quite often. So you get used, you hear when a note is not in tune, and I think really a lot of people can sing very nice in tune. And When playing a musical instrument, it's the same. You just have to learn when you play a certain note and you want to go to the next note, how much distance is there between these notes? And then when you hear that, and after some practice you will hear that definitely, you know which key to press. So that is the whole idea. And then also, when you are familiar with the different scales, you know already which notes are probably in the melody. Of course, there are always exceptions because there can be something chromatic in it, but most of the time, and also with this song, all the notes are exactly in the scale. So that means that you have only 7 different notes, so 7 different keys. Of course, you can be an octave higher or lower, but this is often very easy to hear. Now let's take a look which notes are played in this song. As I have said, this song is in F sharp minor, and the scale for that is now you would maybe think, hey, that sounds strange for a scale. If I would play it this way, you would probably think, hey, that sounds much more familiar, because this sounds exactly like Do, Re, Mi, Fa, Sol, La, Si, Do. And that is in fact the major key. So what I was playing the last was an F sharp major key. But in this song we use an F sharp minor key. Now there are different minor key scales, but let's not make it more difficult. Just remember for now that in this song the following notes are played: F sharp, G sharp, A, B, C sharp, D and E. Now let's figure out the melody by listening to the singing. Margharitha. That sounds way too low. That sounds good. Marga. Okay, so let's continue with the rest. Margari. Oh, that sounds very bad. But I have said that in this song you use only the notes that are in the F sharp minor scale, and the C is not in there. So let's play the C sharp instead. Hey, that sounds suddenly very good. And now you can figure out the whole melody that way. Now you can combine the right hand with the left hand pattern. But often it sounds nice to add some more notes to your right hand. But the best is to make sure that the highest note that you play is the melody. And then normally you add an extra note when there is a chord change or when there is a new measure. Now in this song I don't play with every beginning of the measure, but I play a note extra with almost every chord change. So how do I do that? For example, when I have this beginning, if I play that together with the left hand, so then we see that here we have the chord change, or in this case the beginning of the chord, because we start a little earlier than the measure. So then I play the F sharp minor. Now the best thing is to add a note of the chord that you are in. So you can just try. Now the A is in the F sharp minor. And that sounds immediately good. But you could also try to add, in this case, the F sharp. So let's do that. But that sounds not that good. It's not wrong, but you hear now clearly a fifth. And normally for a melody the fifth doesn't sound that nice. Of course there are always exceptions, but also we play already the fifth in the accompaniment pattern, because we do. So, and we are missing the third note of the chord. So this would be the perfect choice to add to our melody. If I would add it to my left hand, so for example, if I play like this, the chord, so that sounds terrible because the notes are in the lower register and they are too close with each other. If you play in the lower register, you need to keep distance between the notes, and a nice way is to do with your left hand the root, the fifth and the octave, so like I was doing. Now let's continue. Now that doesn't sound that nice, so let's try for the B minor chord instead of the F sharp, the D. And that sounds very nice. And like this you continue until you have for every chord one extra note. The verse you can figure out, of course, in the same way, but for the verse I would not add an extra note. Idato prosopo supali. And the rest you can figure out by yourself, because you learn much more by trying and making mistakes than by just copying me. Because when you're copying me, you will be able to play the song by remembering everything, but when you don't play the song for some time, you probably cannot remember it anymore. So then you have to learn it again. But when you train your ears, you will hear, so very fast you will pick it up again. So I will leave some links in the description so that you can train your ear, but also just try also to figure out very easy songs And don't worry about making mistakes, because from the mistakes you learn and your brain is trained. So don't give up too fast on this. And also you will notice that this left hand pattern has a little difficult rhythm to play along with. So in the beginning you will see that you will mess up with the rhythm, but give yourself time. So, I hope that this lesson was useful. Thank you for watching. Ευχαριστώ.